in the NBA. That same bad team y'all talk about won 60 plus games, 2 back-to-back seasons.
Well, y'all said they did that in the
This man, are you that bad?
Let's go.
Wait, no. I'm saying you ready to rock.
Dismissed. Got it. See ya.
No, but make that make sense though. I ain't never seen a bad team win 60 plus games in back-to-back seasons. I've never seen that. Ever. I'm not saying that happened with all my players.
Take it from here, will ya?
Wins for Cavaliers franchise.
They did it in the Week East though. Like, so which is it?
Man, I don't make that argument. I don't make that argument.
I'll take care of
So you say all the 60 wins was against the East play, East they play no West team. 60 wins against the East.
That's not what I'm saying. But y'all talking about they did it. They did have to. I'm ready to rock.
You can't say the team brought this in trying to make that argument, trying to make that. You can tell them that's what they do. I never said the East was weak. I never said that.
Turtleneck did. If it don't apply, let it fly like Delta. We're not talking about you. We're talking about the masses. And they said that LeBron did all this in the Week East. But then he went to the West and did the same thing.
I
So
can't
it's like,
leave this to anyone else who says it.
He went away. He went 60 games back to back.
He won in the East. Hold on. When he won in the East, y'all said he did it in the East. He went to the West and won. Just answer that. Did he win in the West? Did he win in the East? Yes or no?
Bro, he won in the West.
Yes or no? Turtleneck. Yes or no?
Mission accomplished. I win.
Yeah, you moving the goalpost.
Did he win in the West?
Hold on, Mingo. Hold on, y'all. Did any of y'all claim Jordan won in a Week East?
That's the question I
It's not an argument.
Hold on, no. But I'm just saying. Hold on, but I heard earlier one of y'all. I don't know who brought it up, but somebody said that the East was weak for LeBron. Which, you know what? There is probably some truth to that. But is there some truth to the fact that the East was weak with Jordan? I mean, the West was looked at as the more dominant side.
No.
In the 90s? Hold on. In the 90s, the West was better than the East for sure.
No.
Yeah.
It was that Seattle, the East.
That's stretch.
Look at these niggas. Look at these
Oh,
niggas.
what team?
He played the Avengers.
The Knicks?
The Knicks?
That's one thing good offensively, but they were historically great defense. The Heat won 60 games. They had Shaq Penny. The Heat won 60 games. They had two Hall of Famers.
I would be totally
The Pistons, no. What we're talking about is, hold on. What we're talking about is on a year-to-year basis. Yes, there were years where Orlando got better, but when Orlando got better, a lot of other teams were down. So when the years were early in the 90s, when the Knicks were good, okay, the Knicks were good, maybe the Pacers, but there weren't a lot of strong teams in the East at that time. So when Orlando was good that year in 95 or 94, what were the other teams in the East that were also down?
What about the Hornets?
No, they were never. The Hornets were never.
This nigga said, what about the Hornets?
There's a reason why Son left that team immediately and went to Miami.
And I understand that, but they were a good team.
No, they were not a good team. They were an expansion team. Nobody looked at them like they were threat. Come on, man. I gotta stop. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
had 60 games plus.
Okay, that was the Heat. The Heat were, and that's okay. And that's. I love that you said the Heat were a 60-win team. Did you ever consider the Heat a team that could win the championship?
I mean,
that year with Zoe and Tim Hardaway. So that simply means that winning 60 games. So that simply means is winning 60 games isn't the end all be all. It means that you're a good team, but it don't necessarily mean you're a team that can go win the championship.
But you can't say that the East was weak then.
No, I'm not. I'm saying
People are
on
counting on me for all sorts of things, so I won't mess up.
in the East, yes.
You're a failure as a ninja.
As the West in the 90s,
No.
I'm trying to
They
understand.
actually make Jordan point that though.
Correlating the depth of the
You said one against the
The
West.
teams in the West, I never expected any of them to win.
No, the only reason why you never expected a team to win in the NBA in the 90s is because Jordan was playing.
No, not true.
Because there's no team ever that you predicted that could beat the Bulls.
Not true.
Who?
Phoenix had a legit shot.
No,
with Charles Barkley.
Just like the Seattle Supersonics, they were one of the biggest
underdogs. Portland had a legit shot.
Yeah. Okay, but again, why do y'all, when y'all say that these teams have a legit shot, and then when we go back, remember the only reference that we can go to is
failure as a ninja
at the time. Why are these teams all significant underdogs? Not close underdogs where they had a shot. I'm talking about they are significant in them. I think the team that had the closest shot by Vegas, and they were still an underdog, was the Utah Jazz. But outside of that, the Bulls were favored to win every one of them.
Even with Houston.
By a large margin.
So if that's the case, if there was never a favorite coming out of the West, how was the West?
What I'm saying is, all I'm saying is, that tells me, when I look at the odds, that tells me when y'all sit here and say, yeah, there were teams in the West we thought could beat the Bulls. That almost tells me that y'all capping a little bit.
There were teams in the West that could beat the Bulls.
Okay, then who?
I'm pretty. Wait, didn't Portland push them to 6 games? And didn't Phoenix push them to 6 games? So clearly, it wasn't like the Bulls.
Hello?
This ends
It's not like Jordan was just having every time he was in the final. He was having 5 he was also getting points, but y'all don't want to talk about it. Game 6 against that great game. I don't care about that. That's not like we kind of studied. With the trust that your coach has had to bench Jordan,
You're not going to get your way.
But y'all will never tell that story. Y'all will never tell that story.
You're not going to get your way. This ends now.
The next year, the year he actually came back,
This ends now.
To respond to that, we're talking about the same where AI and a bunch of role players. That's what I mean. Yeah, one is LeBron's the player. So
just like what made those two joints super teams with LeBron.
The problem was like a lot of one-star teams and a bunch of role players. But even if you look at that 2007 finals run, I mean, have y'all seen those games? When LeBron beat the Pistons, I know they didn't have Ben Wallace, right? I know that.
Wait,
yeah, but see, even I went down and rolled. This is what I call Bill Rush. Y'all are arguing things that George Levine, LeBron, Jordan, all these players can't control. LeBron cannot control who steps on that court. LeBron, just all he did was be born, go to the NBA, get drafted to the Cavs, not even by his own volition, and just start playing with him. And then he knocked them because other teams wasn't doing their job as far as building up their teams to make them competitive enough. These are things, all we can judge these teams on and these players on like is who he played in the East, did he beat him, and did he get his team to the finals? And then how they do when they get to the finals, and we judge that. But sitting here trying to nitpick, if the other teams, if they weren't good enough, that's their problem. That's not LeBron's problem. His job is to go out there and win games. His job is not to sit around and wait until they get good and say, okay, you guys are ready to play now, let's go, because you guys are good enough. It's just go win. If they ain't ready, then that's their problem. So, again, we talking about stuff. It don't matter. It don't matter. In the grand scheme of things, when we look back on this, nobody's saying how good the East was. They just don't care. Did he win the Eastern Conference? Did he get through the East? Did he get to the final? And we'll judge that.
This is my specialty.
It matters under the context of if we're saying, oh, well, LeBron got to the finals and doesn't for and India did. That's why it matters.
What it lends to is this. What it lends, I think when people compare Jordan at year 4 and LeBron at year 4, it lends to the fact that both of them were in similar situations, right? Really good players on teams that nobody thought were very good. But then two polar opposite things happened. Jordan's team still struggled because his game is really built around him and him making himself better, not necessarily making others better. And LeBron's game is built around him making others better, and he still can be great himself. That's just the difference in players. This is why you say LeBron could have, like, even if you flip-flop those players, Jordan would struggle to win with those Cavs teams, while LeBron would probably have those guys overachieving. That's not a knock on Jordan. That's just Jordan's style of play.
I don't know about that.
Hold on, that's just Jordan's style of play versus LeBron's style of play. That's all it is. When Jordan saw that he had guys that weren't very good around him, Jordan shot the ball more. When LeBron saw he had guys like Boobie Gibson around him, nobody ever heard of him coming out of Texas. You know what he said? You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give you this ball because I see you knocking down 53s in practice. I'm gonna see if you can make a few in the game, and I'm gonna let you go crazy. And then we're gonna do it as a team. So again, it's just different styles of play. One style of play lends towards making bad teams a little bit better. Another style of play, Jordan's style of play, lends more towards taking a good team and making them an all-time great team, much higher than LeBron can. That's all it lends to.
I agree with that for sure.
Okay, hey, if you put LeBron, his 50-win team, the 2007 Cavs, in the Western Conference, they play the Spurs and they would get swept. Okay?
Why don't say it again?
How are we doing this? How are we doing this?
Oh, what do you mean why?
We don't have hypotheticals? We don't have hypotheticals?
It's a 50-win team. And if they were in the Western Conference, they would play the Spurs.
So let's put Jordan on those teams that Bron took to the finals. What's his record? Since we don't have hypotheticals.
I think
What's
he
his record
could do
against
just
the
as well as LeBron, but I don't think
I got a
he was the finals
hypothetical.
in
What if
2007.
Brad Hill don't get injured and he stay with T?
Well, the one thing that we know is that
This is nonsense.
if Jordan did not have Phil Jackson in the triangle offense, he wasn't winning it. That's a fact we do know.
Yeah, I agree. Also, too.
He was getting smacked in the 80s.
He won
Everything
50
matters.
games.
Everything matters. Players, chemistry, coach, everything matters. Everything.
So now everything matters.
Is it any surprise to you guys that the only other guy in NBA history that tried to mirror Michael Jordan almost perfectly only could thrive in the triangle offense as well? He never won anything without it. That's how their games were built. The triangle offense was an offense. I keep telling you, triangle offense is one of the worst offenses in basketball. It is not a very good offense. It's really only built towards making your star player that loves to shoot a lot happy. Because
If you don't believe him, look at the Knicks with Derek Fisher.
It forces that team to move the ball, because the only way the triangle works is with a ball reversal. What happens when you do a ball reversal? It's been statistically proven that off one ball reversal, your odds of scoring the basketball go up like 70%. So Phil Jackson said, we need the ball reversal. The only way we can get it in is if we have a built-in ball reversal that goes to Jordan at the end of the shot clock. And in an era with illegal defense, that's who you want with the ball at the end of the shot clock, because nobody can bring significant help. So Jordan's just cooking. So that's why he was so successful, and it worked with Kobe. It worked with Jordan. But those two players also didn't have the versatility for their style to work outside of those systems.
Can't be
saw Kobe
serious
struggle
against
with the D'Antoni
children.
system. When LeBron took elements of the D'Antoni system, he thrived in it with the pistol action.
So Lamar, are you saying Phil Jackson made them niggas?
No, I'm saying that style. Phil Jackson was smart enough to know what
culture?
the egos of his players. He
From here, the battlefield will become hell.
He said
You're a
because of their
failure as a
massive
ninja.
egos, because of their ability to take a ton of bad shots, and because of their in some cases lack of wanting to pass to other teammates, they have to create a system where they can take a ton of bad shots and still be efficient to a certain degree.
Save the explanation.
That's all the
Let's
triangle
just
is. That's
do
why the
this.
triangle will never work with.
You're a
You can't
failure as a
name
ninja.
another team in NBA history that ran the triangle for an entire year. We've seen teams try it and they immediately throw it in the garbage can.
Think
No
about
other
triangle.
team.
You gotta have a certain type of players too. They don't work
No,
with
you,
any
no,
other
you
team.
don't. To push back on that. No, you don't. No, you do not. No, you do not.
You're a
Yes, you
failure as a
do.
ninja.
No,
You gotta,
do
you
not.
have to, you have to be intelligent.
Hold on,
to run the triangle.
Niggas
Because
gonna
there's
get
so much movement and
No,
cutting.
hold
You don't
on.
know.
First of all, y'all gotta. You're talking to somebody. I know the triangle through and through. One
Same
thing
here.
about the triangle is essentially a 4-out 1-in offense. That's essentially what it is. The goal of it is
I
to
can
literally
already
create
see you
triangles
dead on the
one
ground.
side of the floor. Only
You're a
works when it's
failure as a
ball versatile.
ninja.
There's not a ton of cutting. There's a ton of ball movement. There's not a ton of cutting. The triangle's predicated on the guys on the weak side staying where they are. They're not cutting. They're not doing a lot of moving. The guys on the weak side are staying back. And they're allowing the guys on the strong side to operate in their triangle. And in the era that Jordan played in with illegal defense, that's what made him essentially unguardable. Because with 8 seconds on the clock, and all guys sitting here worried about illegal defense, and if they go too early, what is Jordan doing? Kicking it out to Steve Kerr, Tony Kukoc, guys that are knockdown shooters. If they don't go, then he has some of the greatest individual one-on-one matchups we ever seen. Nobody in the 90s could guard Jordan one-on-one. You would think about it.
That's my point. You have to have the right team composition.
No, so the way the Bulls, because they still ran the triangle when Jordan left in 155. So you can run the triangle, and they had different personnel. So again, it's your point of attack changes when Jordan leaves, because their point of attack changed from attacking from the elbow to Pippen attacking from the top of the key, making decisions from the top of the key. Correct. So the only thing that changed is the point of attack. There's like 5 different points of attack out of the triangle. It changes based on who your best players are and what their skill sets are. That's why the Lakers Shaq Why? Because Shaq had one of the numbers on a high post, Kobe had the wing, and then he always had a shooter. So now, and now, try to look. The triangle gives the best player all of the shots. But that's the one that recently in LA, who took all the shots in LA? Kobe and Shaq. Look at the scoring line. Kobe and Shaq, everybody else, 7, 6. So the triangle, what it does is, the triangle picks the ball. The reason why it's not runnable is because in the database, everybody shots the triangle picks it off guys trying to make it mean for themselves. So this is when they tried to run it in New York. You got these young guys out here, and all of a sudden they look at one guy, Carmelo Anthony, shooting all the shots. He's like, round 2. I can't get mine. What's going on with this? So times change. Players, some of these guys got incentives to get in this kind of take this thing incentives. Carmelo getting all the shots. So when the game is slowed down, that's what it's going to All right, well, they can take their team and play against mine, and I want them to try to run the triangle the whole game.
I mean, all this great big man.
One takes strong Number 2, it takes players to buy in. I remember when I debated this with Chill, I said the reason why it's not a good offense is because it's extremely difficult to convince players to buy into. You're going to have really good players not taking no shots. They're going to have to buy in. They're going to have to put Miners playing at slow pace. They're going to have to buy into their numbers all dropping. Their officials are buying their numbers dropping. Why? Because you believe they have a job a long time in LA playing the next one-side coach. So, and I got players that want to get paid.
That's what I say. It takes the right side. You don't have any players. You don't have no players.
No, you need to run skill talent. Skill like skill like every talent. Skill like
This is my kingdom.
I'm a
triangle with Shaq.
Before we meet again, I
Sean
will
Marion,
become a stronger man. I swear.
Decent small.
Hidden
The
limits.
victor has been decided.
Jordan had freedoms for Snoop Dogg. And you
What
try
I'm saying is
Thank
you have
you.
to have the right personnel.
Jordan had to continue to work hard and get even stronger.
Hey y'all, did y'all know that? Did y'all know that Phil Jackson would find his bigs for taking threes? See, the point of the triangle was to have Jordan take all the shots. And the point of the triangle when Kobe and Shaq were there was Kobe and Shaq take all the shots. And other guys got to be great at catch and shoot and got to be great without having the ball in their hands. Getting the teams to buy into that today does not work. And especially in today's game, now that teams have gotten much better with the zone. And if you go too heavy ISO into the triangle, the zones are going to light you up now.
Yeah, the zone will eat up the triangle right now. It's not a terrible off. And like I said, if you got the right pieces, the triangle is going to look beautiful. But you got to have the right pieces.
I don't know.
If you take,
It's not too.
if you take Shaq in his prime and you drop him with KD and the Warriors, and they run the triangle, ain't no team that's gonna be able to stop him. Not one team.
Yeah, but that's Shaq in his prime. Shaq in his prime in almost any system is going to be Shaq in his prime. Shaq in Orlando. Shaq was one of the worst coaches in NBA history. In Orlando, and he was dominant. Like Shaq is going to be dominant in any system. I don't care how you whip it up. Like you can put him in any system. Dominance is going to be dominant.
You can take any top 10 big and run the triangle.
No, but that team. But the thing is,
they'll run through anybody.
Hey, yeah, but what does D'Antoni show you? D'Antoni said, give me any point guard, and I'm gonna make him look like a star. You literally look at the guys that D'Antoni turned into stars in this league or really good players just by playing under him. Guys that were nothing before. Steve Nash was nothing in Dallas.
D'Antoni don't win in the playoffs.
It don't matter. But what I'm saying is that system adapts so well to players that it makes guys like Nash look like league MVPs. That's how good that system is.
But it don't work in the playoffs.
It don't matter.
Just stay still.
Again, there was only one team with the players. If only one team in the league can run the triangle efficiently, how is it a good offense? If you have to have a Shaq, Kobe, or Jordan to run it, how is it a good offense? So you literally need a generationally great player to run.
I'll do it. You're a failure as a ninja.
But he's making it sound like Jordan had all-star centers, and he did not have all-star centers.
No, not at all. No,
but you just make it sound like you need that to run that.
No.
And that's the
No. If that's the impression I'm giving you, I apologize. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, all right, relax on me. What I'm saying is that you have to have a main scorer, whether it's a big, whether it's a wing. It could even be a point guard. That's the main scorer. You got to have one main guy. Like I said, you can take any top 10 big, drop them with the Warriors, and run a triangle, and they'll blow anybody out. You can take.
No, that's
not.
not.
Talking about some of the greatest shooters of all time with a dominant.
Okay, Nate, give me a big that it wouldn't work with.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's not. He's not winning championships with it.
You don't think because of his offensive
and reason, especially
his offensive skill.
It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work in the 90s. No.
In today's basketball, it would because there's not enough bigs to be able to challenge. But in the 90s, I agree with you. I agree with that.
He's not good in this game. No way in hell today's game. Dave Robinson is not good enough talent-wise, and because he's not good enough. He can't face up. He couldn't face up. He couldn't do that. Oh, hell no.
That's what David Robinson did. He did face up. That was his game. He went up back to the basket.
That's actually his biggest criticism. Say he faced up to him.
The face up, I'm not even on that. David Robinson wasn't a good passer out of.
You ain't got to be in a big doesn't have to be a great passer for the triangle. Because with the triangle, you know where everybody's at.
You have to be a great passer in the triangle.
That's what made
especially a big.
Shaq made it shine so well. When it came to Chicago centers didn't get the damn ball.
Yeah, they were.
That's the difference.
now, OG. For real, think about it. Luke Longley, what was his average? Trash. The Williams boys, what was their average? Trash. What was the All-Star?
Bro, there's a reason why. Like, do y'all really believe that Phil Jackson wasn't able to get better talent on that Bulls team? He went and got guys. I'm just saying he went and intentionally, like when he was with the Lakers and the Bulls, he went and intentionally got guys like the Luke Longleys, guys that he knew were high IQ but would not demand the ball a lot, because they needed a certain caliber and IQ of player to be around Jordan. Couldn't be guys that wanted the ball. Couldn't be guys that cared about scoring. They had to be selfless. The only person that was allowed to be selfish was Jordan. And same thing with the Lakers team. Only two players that could be selfish were Kobe and Shaq. Outside of that,
isn't that like what most teams? Like the two stars and then other people is complimentary players?
No, not like that. Not like Kobe and Shaq. Kobe and Shaq was ridiculous. Two guys averaging 27 and nobody else averaging double figures.
And OG, I'll point this out.
That was by design.
All-Star with Jordan.
Selfless.
You had Bill Cartwright, who was even on the Bulls, and he's the last All-Star to actually get into it with Michael. Well, Phil was the one that said, no, I need you to fall back on this one. Because a lot of people didn't even remember that Cartwright...
Failure is a ninja.
You gotta echo, George. You gotta fix that. You're on an Android phone. You need to put some headphones on.
So with you saying that, you almost made it sound like it had to be an all-star type center to run that type of offense, and that's the perception that you was giving off. So bro, then when I
need an all-star to run an offense, is not a good offense.
No, I'm talking about the center position. He wasn't talking about the scoring position of the triangle. He was talking about the center position specifically. So when I bring up those names, it's everybody was on the downhill or barely able to be in the NBA. Because remember, Indiana actually had the Davis boys. Like Chicago.
You're an idiot, aren't you? You're a failure as a ninja.
All them boys. Every game, am I?
Davis boys used to pummel everybody.
But they pummeled them, right? So by how many games did Indiana win against Chicago overall with the Williams boys, with the Davis boys? Chicago won more, right?
Correct.
So with the way that you was presenting it at first, that's the part where I had pushback, because you was trying to make it seem like it had to be a all-star caliber big. And
that wasn't my intention. I was just giving Shaq or when I said David Robinson, I was using those as examples. It could have been Carmelo. It could have been T-Mac.
Yeah, but remember the triangle. The triangle works off of what?
PlayStation.
It's the three-player combination that makes it work. You can put David Robinson or great centers anywhere all you want, but if the other two ain't Kobe and Gasol running good.
But if I may add,
Are we serious right now? This is what we're doing now.
You know, Steve Kerr has the highest 3-point percentage. Yeah, look. There he is. It's just the best.
even for the night, that's low ball.
Do y'all know how hard it is as a shooter on a few touches to be that efficient? You can't warm up. You can't come in ready to go. Yeah, I mean, like as a shooter, if anybody's played, I want you to go on to the basketball court. All you get is 2 to 3 looks at it per game, and you gotta after 82 games, you gotta be 40%. That's hard. Catch and shoot.
So let me ask you this question then, since you brought up that. Just because Steve Kerr has a higher 3-point percentage, so that means he's a better than Steph Curry.
No.
That's what you're telling me?
Right. No, because it's Steph Curry versus.
That's what you just said.
No,
that's what you just said.
No, I'm saying his percentage makes him a really good shooter. I'm saying
exactly.
that when Steph Curry's
not on high volume though.
Steph Curry's versatility and percentage make him a better shooter. So he can shoot more or a wider range of threes. He's not just catch and shoot. Steve Kerr was limited. When you're talking about what the Bulls needed, the Bulls didn't need Steph Curry. The Bulls just needed a catch and shoot. Somebody who was elite with the catch and shoot. Who was the most elite catch and shoot in the league at that time? Craig Hodges and who else? Steve Kerr. Catch and shoot. Maybe you can name a few other guys, Dale Ellis, but outside of that, they had some of the best in the league on that team.
How many points did Steve Kerr average for his career?
So Phil Jackson went and found the best of what he needed. He needed one of the best catch and shoot guys for the triangle. He went and got one. He needed one of the highest IQ bigs that wouldn't demand the ball a ton and loop only. He went and got him. He needed a guy when he needed to go get Dennis Rodman, super high IQ, would defend, and definitely did not care about scoring. He went and got Rodman. He had a horse before.
Isn't that how teams work? They got Aaron Gordon for Jokic's defensive liability. They got more to be on the star. That's how teams are built. We just saying how a team is built. I don't understand what they're doing.
They understand their responsibilities. They don't look to score.
That your team needs.
John, here's the element, John. The one thing that I like to take into consideration that a lot of people don't take into consideration is this. I understand that teams will try to build like that. What complicates that when you try to build that way is now when you get those guys, you have to get them to buy into that role. A guy in Aaron Gordon, who, when he got drafted, he was supposed to be the face of the franchise in Orlando. Now when you bring him into Denver, he no longer can play like he's the face of the franchise. He now has to be just a role player that's just doing role player-ish things. And when you relegate yourself to that role, you in turn also devalue yourself. So now when you accept the lesser role in the NBA, like if you accept the 6-man role, this is why you see so many players push back against these lesser roles. You put yourself in a category where you're like
just stay still. You've suffered quite enough.
You're a failure as a ninja.
How good he was, no matter how many big games he put up, he valued himself as a 6-man, and this is why players don't like getting boxed in. So now when you bring these guys in and you try to relegate them to these roles, now you have to be a good enough coach to get them to buy into it. And that's the difficulty in these systems that we're talking about. How do you get all of these guys to buy in with the landscape of the NBA today? These young guys want to get paid, so now you have to take that into consideration. Then you have to manage the ego.
It's different today. If you're a good 6-man, you're still gonna get paid. You're gonna get paid a lot.
You're a failure as a ninja.
The numbers look different compared to the past, but I guarantee you those 6-man numbers don't look nothing like the max deals that these players on the starting lineup are getting.
Yeah. Of course, but I'm saying like, if you're a good 6-man right now, you're making a lot of money.
No, you're making, but that's just the money in the league's going up. So yes, making more money compared to the 90s, but when you scale it, the 6 men in the league aren't making max dollars. They're not making super max dollars. They're not making the money that you see most of these really good players in the front lineup.
Who's the best 6-man in the league right now?
What's my man over there? Jordan.
He's definitely not on max deal.
No, he's not on max deal, but I think what's his contract?
PlayStation. Hey, PlayStation.